this again. By trying this again, I'm talking about, I don't know if that's trying to live stream on 3 platforms. I got Facebook here, I got Instagram here, and I got, of course, YouTube. My family, right there. It's my, whatever. I broke a motor last night on a piece I'm working on, like snapped the shaft off, so we'll go see if I got a larger motor that can move. I want it to move. I'm also gonna maybe rethink, I don't know, how it's sitting. It sits on wheels, right? So maybe it needs to sit on a cushion of air. I don't know. My goal right now is to go get some food in me, some caffeine. And then I'll figure out how the piece is gonna be fixed. It's not insurmountable. It's all about cost, like what's cost effective for me to do. I'm not really surprised it snapped, because I'd taken the shaft and taken a grinder, scraped it down along the shaft to make it. It's a long story, but I weakened the shaft of the motor. So I was being very, very. I was distracted. I was distracted, and it broke. It's like my father said, if it's mechanical, it can be fixed. So I'm gonna fix it because the piece was looking great too. Whatever. What are you gonna do? So that's my goal. I also got to work with Lutzy today. I think I'm going to do the dummy launcher with him in the tall grass. I'll live stream it. I think I'll probably do all right with it. What else? I'm also going to break out a Frisbee and see if I can get him to be compliant with that. That dog, like all dogs, they get excited. Remember, excitement is the point. All dogs make a mistake. They bark, lunge, bite, or just don't listen. That dog, he gets excited, he goes into this state of like, I want to play keep away or something. He's not playing keep away, but he did when he first came here. What's up? And Instagram. And I got him to stop doing it, and I need him to like not even like go into that mode. Like I see him, he's got the dummy in his mouth, and he gets, he comes by me and like goes down like, come on, chase me, like and I'm like, no, you better get your fucking ass over. I need him to the point, because he's gonna go home. That's where he learned the behavior. He needs to stop doing that. Not even like, they don't think, they respond. Dogs, remember that, dogs do not think, they respond. So he's responding that way because of muscle memory. So the more he doesn't do it, the more he doesn't do it. So, I mean, it's like he gets real close, and then I see him, I'm like, motherfucker, get the fuck over here, You can't be doing that. So, he's way better than he was when he showed up, that's for sure, but we got to get him so that he can not be a dick. Seriously. He's a really nice dog. He's beautiful, he's friendly, but like a lot of bird dogs, or a lot of dogs in general, they get excited, and these hunting dogs, man, especially, they're high drive, they're excitable, and the problem is owners are like, yeah, they're nice, he's nice and everything. Yeah, he's being a dick though. He's being disrespectful. So, like the owner he goes, I just want to be able to take the dog hiking, stuff like that, and he's not compliant. So it's asymmetrical sometimes. You got to get them to quit doing something, getting them to stop doing something else. And it's important that they quit. Like your dog that's doing this one like shitty behavior, that's your dog isn't trained and your dog isn't, you know, it's gonna have issues. So you got to get your dog to quit doing it. It's difficult for the dog owner that like is like, I'm gonna get a dog, and then they think that training it is like, oh, they worked with it for a day or something and got it to sit. You know, dog needs to know a lot more than sit. Lives in a human world. Remember that. Dog lives in a human world, so that's why we have 6 million dying in the U.S. alone. 6 million. It's a lot of dogs. That is, it's a lot of dogs. What else? My pots I planted are doing good. You love my content, I appreciate that. By the way, if there's anybody, Peter Caine Dog Training on Facebook and on Instagram, that's Peter Caine Dog Training 1. Of course, YouTube is Peter Caine Dog Training. So like and subscribe or follow, I appreciate it. My Instagram is actually moving because I'm making an effort with it. It's moving quite a bit, which I like. I actually did make money off of Facebook last month, which was very interesting. But then, like this week, I made 58 cents. So, you know. But I'm making some. So, I guess that tells me that I should upload more shit to Facebook, which I will. I mean, I'm monetized on the platform. I should take advantage of it. I'm at Dandy, man. That's what I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna get food from Dandy Mart. This guy did too. There's Chad's dad. What's for breakfast? Scoodle Moose? Oh, what an adorable name you have. Scoodle Moose. Well, we'll see. But I imagine it's like a bacon, egg, and cheese Scoodle Moose. What about the Sasquatch? What happened? Dude! Don't bring that up, man. Which time? They have a sandpaper tongue, dude. And don't get me started. I know the difference between a male and a female, okay? It's not even polite to bring that up. You know, you sit there and bring that up. I'm just curious. No, you're not. You're needling me. It is a gorgeous day, Scoodle Moose. What state are you in, Scoodle Moose? Where'd you get that name? Is it a state with a moose? Am I pronouncing that correctly? I gotta get up and go get the food, but wow, how rude. Texas has Scoodle Moose in it, huh? It is rude. It is rude. You don't ask questions like that. Sandpaper. Preparation H. It hurt. It hurt, okay? Yeah, I did get the rumor finally. Wasn't good. I'll be right back. Where's my wallet? I'll be right back. We'll see what deliciousness they have in here. I'm gonna put on a mask. If I have one, god damn it. Tell me I have a mask. I'm double vaccinated, but I still don't want to get it. I don't know how it's going down there, Scoodle Moose, but it seems to be raising up everywhere around here. My neighbors got it. Oh, a bunch of people got it. Come on, man, give me a mask. Use this one. This one was left in here. I'll wear this. These are not that effective, though. I shall return. show you what I got. It doesn't look like it's going to be very good, but you don't know if mukbang is even a thing anymore, is it? Is it? I don't know what you kids are doing nowadays. Does anybody know what's up with this guy? Yeah, I do. Would you like to know? I'm president of the Bigfoot community. I make some stuff. I have 19 different playlists. This looks absolutely disgusting. This is like a sauce. It's on pancakes. Some kind of white cheese. We'll see. God damn it. Why'd I get this? Does anybody know what's up with this guy? We'll see. Hang on. It's sort of okay. It's not anything great. There's my napkin. Well, tell you what's up. I've been live streaming a lot. I'm on 3 different platforms right now, and I do have some new stuff coming out. I said, Joker, how many birds he knows? Yeah, how many birds do you know, dude? You're a joke. Scoodlemoose says you're a joke. Thank you, Scoodlemoose. Yeah. You don't even know my raven's name or know that I have a raven. F you. You're a joker. How many, I was thinking about this in the hand. How many Steve Miller bands are there, or albums are there? 2? Can somebody answer me that question? What about the Doobie Brothers? What did they put out? 2? 3? 3? Fleetwood Mac I liked, but you know what? I hear people doing covers of Fleetwood Mac that are better than Fleetwood Mac. That's true. Well, I am eating the whole thing. It's not really good. Park someplace different. I want to be in dandy. What I really don't want to be is in my house for some reason. Not really sure why. I did clean up upstairs, which I was putting it off. There's a crap on my floor upstairs. And laundry and stuff I just didn't want to pick up. Right. Ow. I gotta fix that motor somehow. I gotta do, come in for inspection today at 10 a.m. I don't even know why you're getting inspected. Sticks to money, Freddie. I didn't get mine inspected, but mine cost $13,000. So, you know, I guess that's why I didn't get it inspected. Inspection probably would have been half of that. I don't know what they charge for an inspection. I do most of the repairs anyway, so what's it matter? I know what asbestos looks like. I didn't have it. Lead paint, cover it up if you have it. I mean, I don't have kids or anything. I don't really have any lead paint. So that's my goal, is to wake up and then go back, start dealing with the dogs, clean up Khakis area, which takes no time at all, start looking around for more motors, see if there's another way that I could get it to move with like less power. I need less horsepower. The problem being that I can get a motor, but to get a motor that'll do like 3 revolutions per minute, sort of hard to find. I have a gearbox that maybe I'm going to try and take the gearbox off. I have one motor that's downstairs that is pretty heavy. It's old. It might be able to do it. I don't know. I'm going to try that. I'm going to look around for that thing. See if that works. And if that works, then it'll be good. But if that doesn't work, I think my next attempt is to take the gearbox off the motor with the broken shaft, put a gearbox on from another, which I don't know if that's going to work. I'm not going to pay, I paid for that motor. I bought it a long time ago, and it wasn't cheap. It was probably like $200 or something. I'm not going to pay $200 for a new motor for that thing. I tried typing it in yesterday, and I couldn't even find it. I'm sure Granger could get it for me, but I'm not. I could call the company, but if I could fix it, that would be the best approach. Like if I could put a gearbox on top of it, or I just have an existing motor that has enough torque that will actually move the damn thing. I just don't. The thing I put on last night wouldn't do shit. I'm gonna take the there's a piece on it. There's it looks like coral. It weighs about 200 pounds or something. I'm gonna take it back off the table, and to see if the piece works, I'm just gonna use my weight and stand on it instead of moving the piece, the coral piece on and off. It's just dangerous and just sort of a pain in the ass. So I was surprised when it broke like that last night. I did not expect it to snap off like that, but I figured it would have just moved what was in its way. It did not. It snapped. So I want to sit over here, drink my Red Bull, and then go home. Talk to you all. Of course, Scoodlemoose is here. Where'd you dream up that name, Scoodlemoose? So, does somebody else give that to you? Scoodlemoose is on Instagram. Let's see. Oh, look at that. There's, well, of course, Freddy's here. Okay. Go got some paint for your hands, sir. You got some paint for your hands? Yeah, I'm a painter. What do you want? Well, I'm not really a painter. So, I did sleep like a log last night. Seriously, I just was out. Then I woke up. Forgot what woke me up. Something woke me up. But I woke up And then, oh, I know what woke me up. I'm not going to tell you. And my friend who's going down for surgery, she was up because I saw that she had texted me, and then I texted her back. So that I got up. She's coming down from Canada to get some surgery done in Jersey, which I'm happy because she's been trying to get this done for a long time. No special story, just weird, funny word name my sister made up. Your sister? What a scamp. You know? Your sister. What a card. Right? It's it's one of those cute names. I can see that. Oh, come here, Scoodle Moose. Is that your big sister? Your big sister calls you Scoodle Moose, right? She is. She's a real cut up, right? I bet she's sort of into baby talk too, because Scoodle Moose is like that's a baby talk word for sure. We like it though. It's a good name. It's an adorable name. It is. It implies that your sister thinks you're adorable. That's what we think. Oh yeah, Scoodle Moose is adorable. I'm the big sister, and the little sister dreamed up Scoodle Moose. Huh. Go figure. Did you have a nickname for her? What was the nickname you had for her, Scoodle Moose? I know you had one. I had one for my little brother as Pigface. What's up, Pigface? It's a term of endearment. Pigs are cute. Right? I know you had a nickname. Let's hear the nicknames you had for your siblings. Unless they're bad. Don't say bad ones. My my motor broke on that piece, which is an awesome piece, but I could fix it. Everything's fixable. But my giant shell that I'm working on is really coming together. It's starting to look like a fan scallop. So that's real good. I'm real happy about that. Poopsilops. Poopsilops. Hey, Poopsilops. That's adorable. You guys are the adorable sisters, aren't you? It's an adorable family, I can tell, right? Scoodle Moose and Poopsilops. That's a good nickname. That is. I still like my little brother's nickname, Pigface. What's up, Pigface? Come here. What's up, Michael Hunt? Sexy Muffin? Is that a nickname? Nixie, Sexy Muffin. Like the way you eat. Oh, really? Was I eating it like it was a sexy muffin? Because muffins are to be eaten. You know, you want to eat on the muffin, right? That isn't a double entendre. I know what you guys are thinking, but you're wrong. It's just the way I said it. I'm just talking. You just eat the muffin, right? It's no big deal. Michael Hunt's here on this Facebook, this is Instagram, and this is YouTube. I'm on Peter Caine Dog Training on Facebook, Peter Caine Dog Training on YouTube, and Peter Caine Dog Training 1 on Instagram. My Instagram is moving because I'm making an effort. I'm losing subs on YouTube because they don't like it when I do this, but I don't really give a shit. So I'm going to build up Instagram. And Facebook, I don't even know what to fucking think of Facebook. Michael Hunt's there on Facebook. Blueberry muffins with crystallized sugar are the best. I tend to disagree. I don't like a lot of sugar, but I'm glad that you enjoy those. You know what's real good is a plain Pop-Tart, right? Strawberry Pop-Tart. You take that and you put it in a toaster oven with some butter on it. Yum. You know what else is good? This is real good. You go get at Dunkin' Donuts, you get glazed donuts. You bring them home and either warm them up in the microwave or the oven. You try yourself a warm donut and you will not go back. You will never eat another room temperature donut. I can't believe I broke that thing last night. I can, but I can't. I just didn't expect it. It was so unexpected. What's up, Lily Hamilton Irwin? It's an awfully long name. It's an interesting nickname. Irwin. Right? That's not a nickname. That's a person's real name. I always appreciate that when I see that. Someone that uses their actual name, you know. I mean, I understand why you don't, and I understand why a lot of you kids use these gaming names, you know. I get it. But my family just called me CJ. Huh. Is that because your first and middle name? Mine called me Pete a lot, which is sort of weird because nobody really calls me Pete except my family. Stands for Chris Jr. I see. So some people throughout the years have called me Pete. They've called me other names that weren't nice at all. Oh, look, it's a snipe. But you know, I've been called some terrible names, and I've called some people back some terrible names. Don't get me pissed. Anybody, I'll say things. I'll say things if I'm pissed off, and then I feel bad about it, and I'll apologize. I do. I feel terrible about it, but sometimes people say something that's almost involuntary. You got to say it back. You got to say something back. I'm not proud of this. I'm just saying it's like there's only so much you can take. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Fuck you, jerk. I don't know. It's not a good thing. I'm sort of confessing to you all that I have said shit, you know, that I probably shouldn't have said in the past. But it's like everybody, I'm sure it's like you get pushed and then you're like, fuck you. But I think the most important thing is the Christian, take the Christian road and apologize, which I'm not Christian. Which Christians are an interesting group. The evangelicals. I don't see a lot of them really being that Christian. I don't know, man. I've known a bunch of them, and I don't see them as charitable. Some people do deserve it. You're right, but it's still, you should be able to. You always want to be better, you know, and that's not like a good thing. It's just sometimes, man, it's just like, God damn it, why did I deserve that? And then you're fucking saying shit you shouldn't say. You know, you might, you know, it's just like, it's fucked up. I do have a tendency to say I'm sorry. It doesn't make it any better, though, because you shouldn't have said it in the first place, you know? There's really no excuse for it. Like, it's hard to always, it's hard to be the bigger person, you know? It is. It's hard to be the bigger person. With some people, it's almost impossible. It just is. You know, in theory, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, because if somebody's saying something and you know that it's incorrect, it should be like water off a duck's back. Like me getting trolled on the internet. That's easier to deal with because I don't have to deal with the person right in front of me, right? I can just, fuck it, it's a joke. But if you're dealing with like a friend or something, or family member, like if Scoodlemoose was dealing with Poops a lot, well, her sister Poopy Pants or whatever her name is, and they're right there, and one says something to the other, that's different. That's different than like a stranger, like saying like horrible things about me. I'm on the internet, so I gotta fucking put up with it. How warm is it? It's gonna be nice today. It's not a cloud in the sky. I'm gonna move my citrus trees all out. Um, Poopsilops, like a cyclops, but it's Poopsilops, right? I get it. What's Scoodlemoose? Tell us what Poopsilops does for a living. Does she work? Does she go to school? Tell us more about Poopsilops. And I assume you still call her that. I bet you do. Not lops. Poopsilopes. Poopsiloops. Poopsiloops. I'm dyslexic, so I see words and I have trouble. I'll see chef and she's an obstetrician. You ought to get her one of those little name cards that say that. Poopsiloops. Right, Poopsiloops. Like I'll see chef and chief, and I'm like, okay, which word is that? So I have to read it in the context and figure it out. I'll be reading, this is the truth, dyslexia, but when I read it, it looks like stixlexia. So I'll be reading a paragraph or something. I'm like, what was that word? And what I mean, Scoodlemoose, what do you do? Are you an obstetrician too? Are you? Tell us. Are you a mom? Are you a dog mom? Do you have fur babies? Look, Margie's here, whoever. Margie's here, right, on Facebook. What do you do, Scoodlemoose? By the way, I am working on doing this, which is interviews on either Facebook or Instagram. Not like this, but like you can, like if she wanted to, she could come on live, because I trust her for some reason. But I'm not going to let just anybody on live. So I'm trying to work out the bugs. But I am planning on doing that, which is interviewing people on Instagram and Facebook. I just sort of have to, I did it with Toxic the other day. I'm sort of okay at it. Hi, Margie, instant Facebook world, Peter. I want to thank Nixie as a supporter, to say the least. I think this is between me and you. I was told Nixie has another account on YouTube, and she might be Frogman status. No, it's not top. I was a cat mom, and my babies have passed. Not sure about when to get another fur baby. You go get one tomorrow or today. It's not gonna diminish how you felt about your cat. Just get a kitten. It'll take your mind. I used to do this. I don't do it now because I'm too busy with animals. But if I had a dog pass, I'd go get another puppy. Because man, I'm a emotional dude, so I can't stop crying and shit. And the only thing that would like get me to stop crying is picking up poop, So that's what I would do. It wouldn't diminish my memory of the animal that passed. It just, within 3 weeks, I always had like a new puppy. I'd start looking around. It's a horrible feeling. It is. It's a horrible feeling. It's the problem is, it seems like a lot of like time on this planet is marked by like our experiences with people and pets. So pets seem to leave and they take up for you know, anywhere from, I don't know, 1 to 15 years. Mango, much longer. But so they go, and you miss them, and you also are like reminiscing about like um, the time that you had with them, which makes it even sadder. People, even if you don't get along with your parents, right? Which I had issues with my parents, and now that I look back, my parents were not the bad, not the worst. They were not. Um, my mother got weird as she got older, though. She's sort of hard to. I don't know what her deal was. Um, Maybe she was having dementia. I'm not sure. But now that I look back on it, I should have dealt with it in a different way when she was older. And I do. I miss both my parents. Um, Both of them influenced me just as much as the other in bad and good ways. I mean, my father, being the stinking racist, seriously influenced me that I don't want to be a stinking racist. So even like his bad stuff was positive upon me. I'd be like, with me and my brothers would be like, fucking shut up, you know, Dad, shut up. Why are you saying that? My dad skin was so dark. He had a tan in the wintertime. What the fuck is he saying shit like that for anyway? Have you ever looked in the mirror, Dad? You know, it never made any sense with my dad. But you should make sure and like know that you're probably gonna outlive your parents. So make sure and, you know, talk to them, even if they're assholes. You might have to create distance from them, but try and figure out some way that you can. You know, the thing of it is like you have to have distance from crazy people. You can't be up close and dealing with the crazy person. You must keep your distance. And if your parent is crazy, you have to create some distance. So as the child, you got to figure out a way to create distance, but still have some kind of contact with them. Don't let them. You know, You shouldn't have somebody that's crazy in your life on a day-to-day basis. That's what I'm saying. And I've dealt with crazy people before. I've had friends that are schizophrenic, and like there's like this it's exhausting, you know, you're trying to help somebody and shit, and it's like you got to create some kind of distance. You got to get away from them. And if your parent is crazy, you got to do the same thing. Which my parents, I don't know if you would call them crazy. When I think about other people's parents, not so much. You know, my parents were not that bad. Um, yeah, learn what not to be. That's right. You can love from a distance. I agree, Scoodle Moose. That's the only way to do it. Like you, you cannot let the parent um, be intrusive too. It's just like the crazy parent will have a tendency to like be really intrusive. Or just you just have to get distance from crazy people. You can't deal with them like on that daily thing. But I'm telling you, you will miss the parent that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how shitty your relationship was with them. When they go, you'll it's surreal. That's the only description I can have. It's like I remember when each one of them went, I was like, wow, you know, they're no longer on this planet. You cannot call them anymore. You know, you just can't. Um, I mean, my mom was a real pain in the ass. She was like growing up with her. Like she had some issues, but you know, I loved her to death. But you know, you just dealing with her was difficult. It was difficult. Didn't mean I didn't love her. I'll get this going too. I love my dad, but we shouldn't have left I love my dad, but I shouldn't have left home earlier. I should have left home earlier. I was out by the time I was 16, and well, I was 16. I left home. Both of them. My dad and mom were divorced, and I wasn't living with either of them. And I don't know. My dad always said, Peter, you were an adult. You wanted to be an adult. Nothing really bad happened to me. You know, I didn't prostitute myself or get raped or anything. So, but something could have happened. So I don't think I would have allowed my child to do that. I mean, I had issues, man. I was doing a lot of drugs and shit. I mean, clearly there was a grade school, high school. Come on, I never got grades. They couldn't hold me back because they gave me tests, so they couldn't hold me back. Instead, they tried putting me in the school, saying, "Oh yeah, all you have to do is play chess," and I hated it. I hated it, and they should have dealt with it differently, and I don't know why they didn't. But I mean, it was obvious that I was doing. I How could they have not have known? Like, as soon as like high school said I couldn't wrestle, I was out of there. I was like, fuck. Why? I remember when I was told I couldn't wrestle that season, but I could wrestle next year if I brought my grades up. I remember walking around. I didn't go to class, and I was just walking around going, "Why am I here? Why am I fucking here then? If I can't wrestle, then why am I here? Because I can't stand. What do I need math for? You know? And what really did I need math for? So, um, and it was. I remember there were these social pressures in high school. I just don't. I remember just walking out and like going and getting stoned or something. And then like sort of all hell broke loose. Like I was like drinking way too much, driving around on a motorcycle, and I'm surprised that I didn't kill myself. Not on purpose, but like I remember one time I was coming from Kiki's house, some girl I was dating, and I was on my motorcycle. I was on Highway 40, and I was going like 90, you know, and I had a front wheel start to shake, and then I was like, what do I do? And I think I started putting on the front brake a little bit, and it got worse, and I let off, and then I let up. Then I put on the back brake, started slowing down. It really wasn't that much of an eye opener because for years I still did this like sort of flirting with death thing. I don't know what that was about. I don't do it as much. I mean, the last time I was really doing that was like duck hunting with Ike in a swamp alone, which you're not really supposed to do. And I almost drowned twice. And if it wouldn't have been for that dog, that's why when I think about Ike, like, you know, I can't talk about him right now. I'll start crying or something. He was just. I mean, he actually did save my life. It's weird. It's weird you have a dog that saves your life, and he did it twice. You know, I love that dog. He's such an idiot too. He's a big dumb idiot. You know. He was harmless. You get. I try. I trained him, and he could like hold a live pigeon in his mouth, and I never had to worry about him. You know, he's just like this big. He was beautiful. His dad was the winningest history in the winningest dog in the history of the breed. You know, Ike was real attractive, a real nice looking guy. His dad was Aquarius Center Court Delight, and I had to. Ike was the Aquarius Lady Killer. The bitches loved him. He was really a great looking dog. His dad was blonde, was a yellow lab, and Ike was black. And the breeder wanted me to show him, and I don't want Ike away from me, you know. She knew I wasn't gonna fix him. I told her that. I said, I'm not gonna fix him. I'm gonna, I'm working him. I'm a trainer. I'm gonna work him. She said, okay, I get it. No problem. She didn't care. I'd still get a lab from her. I've thought about it, but it's a lot of money. I'd have to drive to Plymouth, Massachusetts. It'd be worth it. It'd be worth it. I'd rent a car. I want to train a puppy soon. I was talking to this friend of mine. She's got a border collie, and she food trained it. She didn't know what she was doing, and I want a border collie. It's just I think about getting a border collie puppy. Like I've had a lot of labs, I've trained every dog. I like border collies. They're good. I don't care that they're the only dog that can remember 1,400 names of things. It really doesn't matter. But I'd train it to be a frisbee dog. But I miss Ike a lot. Some one dog I can consistently talk about, and I'll probably talk about for the rest of my life. He saved my life. I never had another dog save my life. He did it twice. I made the same mistake twice, and after he did it the second time, I almost dropped the gun in the water. And I was desperate. I was trying to get my waders off, my waders off, and here's Ike. I was starting to take the shit off. There's Ike, and I just grab him, and he pulls me out. Twice he did that. That's the thing about hunting is like duck hunting by yourself. It is dangerous. And you shoot a duck, or you're trying to like go to another area, so you're going to cross water. There's cattails here and there's water here, and you don't really know how deep it is. And then you have waders on, and then all of a sudden you go down in just a little bit, and all of a sudden your waders start filling up with water. You're going to sink. You're not going to be able to get out. You're going to get a dachshund puppy? Cartwheel, I like them. I like all dogs, but that is one dog that we sort of bred to be sort of unhealthy. So know that they're known to have back problems. That is not uncommon. They might fuck up their back just jumping off of something. I would not get the miniature. I'd get a regular dachshund if I was going to do that. I mean, they're cool. I'm just saying there's a lot of dogs we bred to look weird. And when you want to get a healthy dog, you want something that looks sort of like the wolf body. You want that. You don't want a pug with a smashed in face. You don't want a bulldog with a smashed in face. You want a dog that looks like a dog. And dachshunds sort of like, are one of those breeds we screwed up. Tell you what's real weird is you could get a wolf in captivity on raw diet that it could live to be 16. But you get a Mastiff or a Great Dane and put them on raw diet, maybe you could get 10 or 11 years. Thank you, Nixie. Nixie, you're the best, you little pixie. Nixie, the one-eyed pixie. Interesting. So I'm kind of psychic. I am. This is true. But I always say I'm kind of psychic because I don't think that psychic really exists, because psychic would imply that you would have no other input, right? And sometimes it's true that stuff will come into my head that like I have no other input. But a lot of times you have input. So is it intuition? You know what I'm saying? And there's stuff that you might pick up that you don't really know you're picking it up. It's just like floating in the background and seeps into your brain, and then you're making some kind of weird, prediction or something. Not even a prediction. What small dogs are the healthiest? Well, you can't. you can't really say, you really can't. Well, Skipper Keys, I believe, lived to be a really long as far as like longevity goes. You're looking at about 16, 17 years. Some of these dogs, like Tonka, these GSPs, will live to be 16 years. So it all depends. Mango's maybe the oldest dog in the world at this point, literally. He's a Chihuahua. He's a long-haired Chihuahua, so I guess he's Chihuahua and Pom or something. Um, it's hard to say. You know, Maltese look, they're white, so you might get one that's deaf. Marty's not deaf. Um, you know, none of those white dogs that I've worked with are deaf. Lola, Luna, none of them are deaf, but you might get one. So I'm not getting a white puppy. I'll tell you that. I have a friend that just got a white puppy. It's real cute. I'm not saying that she's gonna have a problem with it. She might have a problem training it. I don't know what she was thinking, but she'll see. She knows she can always contact me. So I mean, I'll help her. I already told her, you have any problems, just come hang out. Yeah, terriers are pretty healthy. Just think of it as like you want a dog with a snout, right? You want a snout, and you just want it to have sort of like a normal body. But remember, we bred everything down from the wolf. So, um, don't. Here's an example of like Chesapeake Bays, man. I own two of those, Cartwheel. You know that. Chesapeake Bays, the interesting thing about Chesapeake Bays is they can be pissy. They do not have the temperament of a Labrador. Do not think that they do. They don't. That is not a lab. A Chessie, I love them. She I love Chessies, but when you get a Chessie, it's it's not a lab or a golden. It's not. Chessie could double as a guard dog. The other thing about Chessies is like they will fight. They're pissy around other dogs. You got to watch them. They will lift up their lip. They'll just tear into another dog. I would see that. We'd be camping or duck hunting or something. Not with Chessies, but even labs. Like you get a bunch of male labs around each other. Watch out. There's going to be a fight. And don't put your hand in there. Like if you want to break up some labs fighting, you know what works real good? A canoe paddle. Use that, man, and spread them apart. And I'm telling you, when you're spreading apart a dog fight, one of those assholes is going to try and circle around you and get back to the other dog and finish up. So once you do it, you get them apart. You leave them apart. They do not. If I had a fight with a dog, I mean, there were two dogs here and they got into it. They wouldn't be allowed in the same yard for at least 35, 40 days. You want them to forget about it. You need that muscle memory to take over. We had a Chessie that was very protective of us. Yeah, that's the problem with them. I mean, if, you know, no, I'm okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm cool. It's not a problem. I mean, they're just a full-on dog, you know? I just describe them as like the polar bears of the waterfowl dogs. They, you know, you want a tough dog, you get a Chesapeake Bay. Those things will go. Your lab will break through ice. You know, Ike would do that. Like I remember goose hunting. I shot off my limit. You know, it was by accident. It was. I swear. I shot like 6 geese. Like, bam, 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 and then we're 6 down. And there was ice on the thing, and he was out there cleaning up the water, getting the geese for 25 minutes. It was freezing, maybe a half an hour, I don't know. But he's breaking through the ice. But you want a dog that's not going to be affected by that, you get the Chesapeake Bay. Man, they do not sense cold. That's why you end up with a dog that's also protective and a badass, is because their drive is higher. It's higher. I'm not going to say the Chessies are crazy. I'm just saying that they are full-on dog. They're more like a wolf. They're not like a lab. But boy, are they beautiful. Man, I'll tell you what, Chesapeake Bay puppies, Cartwheel, you know this. Man, they are fucking gorgeous. Got these green eyes, you know, and then they change into golden. God damn. So, hang on. My border collie is lovely and well trained. However, recently he started attacking dogs. Hang on. Attacking dogs that come sniff him that he doesn't know. Do you have any ideas why this would be? Do you allow where's your dog sleep at night? Where's your border collie sleep at night? Talk to me. The one thing that doesn't really matter why the dog's doing it, the dog, you need it to stop. And the best way to stop that is doing some leash work with your border collie and not letting that problem happen for a long period of time. Meaning, if you could keep dogs from why are dogs coming up sniffing your dog anyway? That's the question I would ask you. Like, what's that about? You know, like I like, you're just asking for problems. Is your border collie? Is it a male or a female? And where's your dog sleep at night? Because I think I know why your dog's doing that. So answer those questions. Is it male or female? And where's your dog sleep at night? And do you give the dog people food? Like at all, like ever. There's that turkey again, man. There's turkeys out in this field. See, I could ask this dude if I could hunt his field. There's just turkeys out there. That's a tom too. It's like every day I see this tom out there. It's my neighbor. I could go talk to him. I'll shoot that turkey. Well, listen to me. Oh, hang on. He sleeps down. Started out of nowhere. I do give my dog people food, but only sometimes. He has a male. He sleeps in his open crate downstairs. Okay, that's good. Let me ask you another question. Does he ever get on your furniture? I'll talk about the people food sometimes in a sec. Do you ever let him? Do you ever let him on furniture? But he's a badass in a fight. Breaking up a dog fight sucks. That's how a lot of owners get bit. And a lot of times it breaks the bond. The owners like flipped out, like, my dog, I love my dog and he bit me. Your dog doesn't think, it responds. So you got, oh, I gotta go get gas. We're going back to Dandy. I only putting a little gas in at a time. Come with me, I gotta go do this. And I'll try and answer your border collie question. Let's see. Yes, you slide on the couch, but no pets. Okay. Okay, you've confused the status of your dog. Hang on. And what you've done is you've confused the status of your dog. You've brought it up to too high of a status, meaning it sees itself as an equal and it sees you as a resource. So when the other dog is coming up, the interloper, he's attacking that dog because it's interloping into your pack. It's, get away from my resource. You're the resource, okay? You've done that by giving people food, which you should never give. It's bad for their behavior, okay? It confuses the status. It should always just eat raw diet. That's it. It eats on the floor. That's it. And also, the other thing that you've done by giving a people food is that you've encouraged that excitement of the dog's mind. So when you're eating, if you look at your dog and you take a plate and you move the plate, the dog will track your plate, right? It's similar to a human being being in a catatonic state. So with a human being that's catatonic, you want them out of that catatonic state because it's healthier for the brain. So every time you eat in front of the dog now, and then it might be a month or 2 months, and you give them food, you're conditioning that excited mind and telling the dog, yeah, you're gonna get food sometime. Just stay there and wait, and then you've screwed the dog's mind up. Now you gotta stop doing that, and it's not just about like, well, I do sometimes. You have to stop. You have to stop, and because you've done it, you're looking at 6-7 months before the dog starts seeing that you're not gonna give it food. I would step it up if I was here. I would be eating in front of it and make sure that it knew it's never gonna eat. It's never getting my food. And I'd be like, get the fuck away from me down. And I'd go put it in the corner or something. You can watch me eat and it's never gonna get a thing. So you've screwed up the status. You've made yourself look like a resource. And letting the dog on furniture, once again, it screws up the status. Your dog should be on the floor. That's it. So the only way you can get your dog to stop doing this, one, is you can't ever let it happen again. So you don't let a dog come. Why are these strange dogs coming up and sniffing your dog's butt anyway? Your dog does, that's not socialization. And if that's what you think, here's a perfect example of it's not socialization. You've taught the dog to bite. So now you got a dog that bites and wants the dog to come up to sniff its ass so it can beat its ass. Because it's very similar, mock fighting or just fighting. Like a human being that practices MMA, any of the grappling sports, anything like that, kickboxing, you practice and then you fight. Well, that's what your dog does now, because fighting gives you an adrenaline boost, and they like that. So that's a high for the dog. So you've created this problem. I don't know if you're going to get it under control. But one, it's hard to do things differently. I mean, just look at the people that like addicted to it. It's hard giving it up. And then you're like, well, come on, I'm just letting the dog on the bed or just giving the dog a piece of sandwich. It's a problem. That's why when anytime a dog comes here, it's looked at as like an intervention, because it's the done. You can't do it with private lessons because Lutzie's a perfect example. Without getting him away from the owner, we couldn't get Lutzie to stop doing this shit. I'm a professional. I still have Lutzie doing some stuff. So also the problem is you have to evict the behavior, and you have to use pressure. So as the owner, you love the dog and you're like, but I love the dog. I don't want to scold him or give him I don't want him to hate me. Whatever you all think is wrong. But that's the problem, is that you have the dog, and you can never, the owner can never evict the problem. So I wish that I had better news for you. I wish I had a magic wand and I could say, yeah, give me $100 and I'll use my magic wand. But that doesn't work. The only thing that works is training. And you're just gonna have to stop doing this. And do know that when you give your dog people food, it doesn't have the proper amount of calcium. So you shouldn't be giving your dog people food anyway. It's terrible for your dogs. Physiologically, you're screwing up the calcium phosphorus level. So you have a chunk of protein here and a chunk of fat here. It has to have calcium along with it. That's the majority of their diet, and that's how they get the bulk of their energy, is from protein and fat. It isn't from carbs. So you're giving your dog bread or whatever it likes because it turns into sugar in the dog. Carrots, by the way, don't get me started. Don't give your dog raw carrots. They can't digest them, okay? So any of that stuff, it's not good for your dog. You want to give your dog high-carb food. So you've created this problem. Anytime around, your dog will follow it. A lot of times the dogs will sit there and drool. They're in a catatonic state. They cannot function. You look at dogs that are food trained, same thing. They can't function. What they do is they start, you give them a command or something, it's not a command, it's a trick. They start spinning around or going through the, trying to figure out what you want them to do. They're not functioning. They're non-compliant. Don't give people food to your dog. It's not helpful. Don't let your dog on the couch. To treat your dog like anything other than a dog, it's unfair to the dog. It is. It's unfair to the dog. Think about it. You should be treating the dog like a dog so the status isn't confused. I'm sorry, you can't have your dog in bed and stuff like that and on the couch. On the couch, you sit on the couch with your dog watching TV. I understand why you do it. You love the dog. It's nice having the dog next to you. But you're not helping that dog and you're creating problems. I know you love your border collie, but it's not going to go well. And then a lot of people are just like, oh, I screwed this dog up. That's what they do, and then they're like, well, I'll do better the next time or something. That's not good as a dog owner to have that attitude, because you can get the dog changed. I just don't think you're going to be able to do it. And it's not an ego thing. It's just the facts. You're not going to know how to evict the problem. It's too much for the owner. So, but you shouldn't be giving people food anyway. It's really bad for the dog physiologically. Dog should be on a raw diet. It shouldn't be on kibble too. Too high in carbs. I gotta get some gas. Hang on. Was that helpful? Would you hit a joint if it was passed to you? Who, me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What do you think? What do you think? I can't believe somebody would ask a question like that. I picked that up from my old girlfriend. She said that she would say that. Like, I just said, "Are you kidding me?" I just thought it was so fucking funny. Fuck, man. Use some hand sanitizer. I don't want to get the fucking COVID, you know? I definitely will stop giving them people food and letting them on the couch. It's not going to be that easy, I'll tell you why. It's because your dog is going to try to on the couch when you're not around. So see, that's the problem. Like if you give them people food, but you only do it like every 3 months, you still have the same behavior. If you are at home, or you're away from the house, or the dog goes up on your couch, it's still doing it. See the problem? It's hard for the owner to evict the problem. That's why I exist, or people like me exist, which good luck with that. My pop grows the stuff. I would never, but I will say this, I did, how do I say this? I did, well, I like growing plants, and I did put some potting soil in a plant. I mean, in a pot for a plant. So I do understand that your pop grows to stuff now because it could be a hobby, but I would never, ever do that. Ever. Unless a gun was to my head, and then I'd be like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Calm down, I'll take a hit. Don't shoot me. But it's like anything, like everything in moderation, right? Like I never have a beer, put a gun to my head, you might as well shoot me. So I'm not drinking, because if I have one beer, I'm gonna have a case. Because I can't drink in moderation. I've never watched porn. Oh, really? You've never watched porn? By accident, I did once, and then I turned it off because it was making me feel funny. Right? So I stopped watching it. But I see, I understand. Don't watch that. It's I don't think God would want you to do that. There's a super chat. If you would take a look, thank you. Okay, I can. You mean good dog breed? Oh, hang on. Yeah, I was gonna answer that question. We got kicked off. Okay, so here's the deal. So you got problems with raccoons, and you need a dog that will keep the raccoons away from your chickens. I want to say this first, and then we'll talk about that. Because I understand that your chicken coop, you believe it's raccoon proof. It clearly wasn't. You can make it raccoon proof. It would require more money and you spending more time, but you can make a chicken coop that the raccoons cannot get in. All right. You could also do other things to help make sure that the raccoons aren't fucking around with your shit. One, go back into it and make sure that there's they can't come up through it. So you would want to take rebar, and you want to slam. You can go to Home Depot and get rebar and slam those in every, 4 inches at the base. That would keep them from going through. Although you want redundancy because it's a raccoon. So I would go also, besides going rebar around the base so they couldn't dig under, real long rebar. They're not going to be able to do it. I would also consider putting like fencing material on the ground, right? So you have a redundancy that the raccoons cannot get in through the base. You would want to pay close attention to where the fencing material, whatever you built your chicken coop out of, at the corners, at the top and the bottom, because they're going to try and pull it away. So you need to reinforce that, right? So that there's no way that the raccoons can get in. Pay attention to your roof and all that too. It all needs to be reinforced. So you can make it so that it is raccoon proof. The other thing that I would do is, because it's a raccoon, I would take motion detector lights, and I'd have them from dusk to dawn on the outside of your coop. And when any animal came in, it's going to put light on the animal. So at least you could have some kind of sense if the raccoons were out there. You could throw some fireworks out there, you could throw, something like that, and really get them out of there. They're not going to like it. You could do all kinds of different things. You could It's a raccoon, they're not going to like certain things. So you could also use a motion detector and some kind of like large fan or something, anything that's going to startle them, something like that. Now, I would do that because the dog's not going to be foolproof because your dog might like the raccoon. So you're asking about like what breed would be best. It really wouldn't matter, be more about like does the dog that you get, does it want to chase the raccoon out of there? And the problem, I'm going to be honest with you, the problem is you don't really want your dog in your backyard at night. You want your dog inside. They're supposed to live with you. They're a social animal. So they should be inside with you. So you don't really want to rely upon the dog to scare the raccoons out. That should be your job. You could also, when it's not the spring, when babies are around, you could trap those raccoon in live traps and take them miles away. You could do that. But I know that they will just decimate your flock real quick. My neighbor had like, I don't know, some like 35 chickens, like just killing the baby chickens for the hell of it, and leaving them and stuff like that. Double everything up and have a redundancy. How did they get in? How did they get in the last time? Like, did you see how they got in? It isn't, you said, well, it was made raccoon proof. It wasn't. So that's what I'm saying is it can be. The other thing that you could do besides, you want to do the base, right? You could also pour gravel around the base, or you could even like pour cement. So if it's an animal that's digging through, you can do that, but you can make it so that they can't pull it away. It reached through the bars. It could get its hands through it. Yes. I tried to scare them away, and it ended up with a raccoon attack in broad daylight. You better watch out, because I'll tell you something. This is the truth. Raccoons are a nocturnal animal. If you saw a raccoon during the daylight, that might be an ill animal. It might have rabies. So you might want to contact the conservation department. And also, if you contact the conservation department, you can get permission to put that raccoon down as a nuisance animal, okay? But you had to contact, I would, or you could take it upon yourself. There's a lot of raccoons. I'm not telling you to hunt out of season, but if you have a serious problem, but I'm telling you, man, you saw the raccoons during the day, you might have a real problem. What state are you in? Are you on the East Coast? Hang on. What's up, Hillsby? Dragged the chicken to his mouth and then yanked it. The chicken would normally be able to fit out. We had to put it down, I'm sure. The chicken in his mouth caught it. We can do it legally in Michigan without contact. Near Detroit. You're good. If you're in the country, you better. I don't know, man. You saw a raccoon during the day. That's like seeing a bat during the day. That's where I'm going with this. You be careful. If you do put the raccoon down, let it sit for a little while. As soon as the body temperature drops, it's sort of safer to touch, but you wear gloves anyway. And you're seeing a raccoon during the day. They only come out at dusk. So that's not good. I think Michigan probably has rabies. I'd be real careful. If you have kids or something, I don't know, man, until you get this under control. It's during the day, it's daylight. That's scary shit. I'm gonna pull over in the shade. So I want to hear more about the raccoon. Hang on. Just in case. Going through rabies shot, I guess. I touched it, move it. Should I get a shot? It's turned cold. How long ago was this? It was a very aggressive one. Yeah. Was this recent? Was this like within the last week? Did you shoot the raccoon? Is that what you're saying? Are you talking about the chicken? I mean, even the chicken would have saliva on it. I would be real careful. I would. Oh, you want to go to the hospital then? You want to tell them what happened? You would. Oh, the raccoon. You shot the raccoon. We touched the chicken. You shot the raccoon and you touched the chicken. I would go to the emergency room and tell them what happened. Hillsby's right, man. You cannot reverse rabies. The raccoon was up the tree. We chased it up a tree. And then what, you shot it? It's during the day. It was eating the chicken really fast. Man, why don't you go to the emergency room, go talk to a doctor? Hillsby's a pharmacist. She's right, man. You can't reverse that shit. I'm a nut, and I've read about rabies. You better go talk to it. Better safe than sorry. I mean, let me put it like this. They say that if a bat is flying in a room with an incapacitated person, a real elderly person, or somebody that's mentally challenged, or a baby, the recommendation is to get treatment for rabies because you don't know if the bat touched them. That's how serious it is. That's from the CDC. So if I were you, I'd go to the hospital today and just tell them what happens. Unless it breaks the skin or you got it into your mouth, nose, or eyes, you can't contract it, but you should go to a doctor. Yeah. I mean, you can't reverse it. Like if for some reason you weren't thinking and you rubbed your eye or something, you know what I'm saying? Like you're used to touching the chickens. Yeah, check in with a doctor. I would not. That is one thing I will not fuck around with is rabies. Like, it's deadly. Yeah, during the day, you see any of those animals that are nocturnal, a skunk, a raccoon, a bat, sure, go do it today. I bet. In fatal in all cases, even humans. Yeah, but I think that there is one case where somebody lived, but they were screwed up for life. And I forgot how they did it. They treated them some way. Maybe taking the blood out and chilling. I don't know. But there's one case of rabies where somebody lived. Supposedly. But an interesting fact is a lot of people think possums have rabies. And possums' body temperature is pretty low. And they don't really have rabies. And people think that they have rabies. It's not really a vector. If you get hydrophobia, you'll know. I bet. Adult videos of people with rabies are terrifying. Yeah, I agree. It's not anything that you want. I would imagine, Hillsby, like if the human gets rabies, it's the same thing. Like if you get their saliva in your eyes, mouth, or nose, you're going to get it, right? As I'm sitting right by the cemetery, right, a zombie could come out at any moment. That's correct, right? And they're crazy, right? Your mom rehabbed the possum? I like them. I got no problem with them. I'll pick them up, take them outside if they came in. They just don't here for some reason. You'd see them in St. Louis. I know they're here. I never see possums except dead on the road sometimes. Is that what Old Yeller had? I believe so. It's back before they had rabies shot. Yeah, I'd not play around with that. Yeah, I just, it's fucking fucked up. That's the main reason I'm terrified of bats. It's kind of just to shoot. Yeah, it is. It's kind of just a shoot. It looks terrifying. It does. It looks absolutely terrifying. Yeah, I know they are. They're all over Missouri, too. I mean, they're up here, but they're just not as prevalent, that's for sure. We got raccoons up here all over, but I never see them. They stay away. Lyme's disease. Lyme's disease is a bitch, but Lyme's disease you can take care of. If you see that patch, man, put you on some antibiotics, you'll be fine. If you let it go, that's a different story. Lyme disease in your dogs, I could talk about that. Lyme disease in your dogs, most dogs are going to be asymptomatic. Appetite. That's going to be your symptoms you're going to look for. They're limping, they're sort of lethargic, and they really don't want to eat. Take them to the doctor, they put them on Doxy for, I don't know, it used to be 21 days. They might do a solid month now. And your dog will be fine. And some dogs and some lines of Labradors, it's deadly. It causes it causes the kidneys to shut down. I'm having trouble talking. It's your ability to it. You're effective than it was. I think Fort Dodge was making the first one. It was not good, but one of the companies took it and revamped it, and it's fairly effective. But yet it's one of those that you have to get every year, like similar to what's it called, lepto. Lepto in your dog, like that's an interesting thing. Lepto shot not really necessary unless you have like a lot of rodents around. Like if you're in Brooklyn, you might want to get the lepto shot for your dog. Once again, that's one that you're going to have to get yearly. The problem with lepto is that I think there's 8 strains of lepto. I could be wrong, and maybe the Leptovac only handles like 8 of them. So there were dogs that had the lepto vaccine in Brooklyn, and they were dying anyway. So they get that's transferred to rat urine and urine from other animals. Lepto can be deadly too. So be careful if your dog is acting weird. Your dog pees on the floor. Wash your hands real good. Like Hillsby said, like you don't have a cut. Your skin is supposed to be a barrier. It works as a barrier. So with most stuff, I don't know. There's probably something that can seep in. But I mean, you could have like. It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much. I'll tell you. A little paper cut or something, little prick or, I mean, my hands are always fucked up. Be careful. Be careful with the wild animals. Nobody should be picking up a wild animal. Nobody. Listen to me. This is about baby deer. There's baby deer out there right now. It's going to be May and June. They're dropping them. You're going to see them later in the summer. You see them nestled in grass. They're not being abandoned. Their mother's off feeding. You're not going to see the mother, and the mother's not going to come around while you're there. So get the hell out of there and leave the damn baby alone. Don't be thinking you're going to be famous on YouTube because you have a baby deer and you're bottle feeding it. Because if I see it and other people see it, we're going to contact the conservation department. They're going to come get that deer. That's just how it is, man. Those deer, you can't bottle feed them and let them go. There's been studies done. Those deer don't even last through the winter. They certainly are habituated to cats, dogs, people, cars. They're dead the first year. So you're not helping them. And look at it this way. You see a baby deer, okay. You think it was abandoned? Maybe it was. Well, the fox needs to eat, the coyote needs to eat, the flies need to eat. Leave it alone. I understand it's a beautiful animal, but that beautiful animal that isn't abandoned could also be dinner for something that is cute too. The coyote pups are adorable, fox pups are adorable. Just let it go. Don't get involved with, don't get involved with wildlife unless you know what you're doing. Even birds, man, there's the bird flu. You don't know what you're doing, I guarantee you take that baby bird home, you're gonna kill it. You're not gonna know how to deal with it. If I take it home, its chances are pretty good. If you take it home, it's not. I'm sorry. You don't have any experience doing it, don't do it. And besides, most of those baby birds should be left on the ground because they have feathers. Baby birds live for a period of time on the ground, eating bugs and whatnot, like a day, 2 days, and then they start flying up. Like you look at the robins, man, they're down on the ground the first day. Second day, they might start flying. So leave the damn robin alone. If it's in the middle of the street, get it over to the side, and that's about it. A lot of times watch it though, because it's going to come right back to the street. So get it off to the side and make sure it doesn't get hit, but don't. Some asshole on my channel was saying, oh yeah, I rescued there's a groundhog. I rescued a crow and then I took it to the woods, and this is an asshole. This is the people I have to deal with. And I'm feeding it now because I left it in the woods for 2 days and it didn't look like any of the parents were taking care of it. Hey, idiot. A baby crow not eating for 2 days, it's not a mammal. It would be dead in a day. Don't try and bullshit me on my channel. I understand birds, idiot. Oh, I gotta go get dog food now. Fuck, I forgot to get that for Sam. Gotta go to Dollar General. I'm out. I'm not gonna go back unless I get this shit. I'm just driving around about shit. Hang on. My home was a bird rescue as a kid. The RSPCA would bring us birds they couldn't handle, so many people would bring birds that didn't need help. Oh, I bet. Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck? It's like a robin that's out of its nest, and they're like, oh, we're they want to help, and they fuck the bird, and then the bird has to be in your all's halfway house, where it could have been fine. I know what you're saying. It's so irritating. I know. It doesn't just piss you off, like the Royal, I guess it's the Royal Mounted Police. They're bringing these birds because these people give them to them, and then you're like, fuck, man, this bird could be ready to fly, and then now it's like it's got to be with us for a while. It sucks so bad. I know what you're saying. People are so stupid. They let their emotions get the best of them. They do. They have to fucking get involved. They have to help. When they're not helping, they're fucking robbing them from their parents. The deer just makes me sick. The whole baby bird thing. And I see some little asshole kid with a baby robin. That robin should be outside, idiot. It shouldn't be a pet. And then everybody's posting stuff. Oh, isn't it sweet? And all. It just encourages people to do shit. These deer that you see on these channels, you see this, you find out what state they're in, you contact the conservation department. If that's not a wildlife rehabilitator, that deer should be gone. I can't believe people fucking do it, but they do. It's just like, and they really do. They have this attitude of like, it's always somebody on YouTube. It's always like, oh, look at me, aren't I a great person? So it's obviously somebody that feels like shit about themselves, and they're trying to make themselves feel better, or trying to make people think that they're not a piece of crap where they are. Don't I know it? Blackbirds, Blackbirds that are in shock because they've been grabbed from the ground. Yeah. Yeah, you're just flipping the damn bird out. Leave the baby bird alone. So, some birds wouldn't be that flipped out. I know what you're saying. You're saying blackbirds. Like the robin might be like, whatever. In another day or two, it'd have nothing to do with you. But if it was just out of the nest, it might be like, oh yeah, I'll eat your worm. But some birds are more flipped out than others. Like I say this about crows and ravens, people don't get it. They think that it's not a pigeon's real stable around human beings. A crow and a raven is not. They're not, and they're not that easy to deal with. People think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that as a pet. You better have a lot of bird experience, and you better have a lot of space. Thanks for reminding me. That was one of the reasons why I went out, was to get Sammy food. I would have forgot. Yeah, this is really bizarre. There was this fucking person with a digging channel I was sort of in an internet war with her about her deer that she rescued. You know, I was calling Texas. I was saying, yeah, this woman, she's on the internet. She's exploiting this baby deer. You know, put your boobs back in your fucking shirt, lady. You know, stop convincing the 15-year-old boys that you're a fucking sex sex icon and a good person because you're fucking trying to fucking save the deer that doesn't need saving. It was all just such bullshit. You know, it was all such bullshit. Finally, she said that she let it go, right? After she bottle fed it, which means it won't make it. Loser. All right, let me go get something for Sam. I don't know what they got here, but I gotta get some kind of dry food or something. I'll be right back. I'm wearing a mask, man. I don't want to get sick. I'm double boosted. I still don't want to get it. My neighbor's got it. All over, man. It's all over. Don't think this is done. It's not a done deal. Now we got the fucking monkeypox coming up. That'll be fun, right? It'd be a good time. Covered with like pox. Not good. I'll be right back. got Sammy Cat Chow. I got a green. Birds are a hoax created by lizard people, and man, you're gonna get removed. I don't want to hear this Hillary Clinton stupid shit. Just remove your comment, and I won't have to remove you. All right? I don't want to hear it, man. It's just stop, okay? Just stop. Do we have a moderator over here? Flesh Pickle. Who wants to be a moderator? MZ Playhouse, are you here? MZ, are you here? I'm gonna make you a moderator real quick. Will you get rid of this guy? It's over on Instagram. I just don't need this. You know, it's just not nonsense garbage. I'm sorry. It's just, you know. Oh, here, Cartwheel, get rid of this. Here. It doesn't give me the option of making you a moderator for some reason. Hill of Beans, let's see if I can make her a moderator. Hang on. It's not giving me that option. I'm just gonna remove him from the live video. Don't do that here, okay? I'm trying to be nice about it. All right? I just, you know, you can't. Hillary Clinton? My God. She's not even in political office and you're still talking about her? It's like I saw some guy's truck and he said it had written on it, jail Obama and Clinton. Like, why? Why? This is all just nonsense. It's all just nonsense. You know, you listen to people talk about, you know, Dinesh D'Souza's movie put out. Like, really, you believe this? You believe this? That was a fair election. I'm sorry, but that's just how it was. Biden got more. Biden got more. And remember the first election, right? Do you remember what happened there? The person with the popular vote didn't win because of the stupid electoral college thing that we have. So, and just because you have somebody that loses that says that it was, the man was saying even before the election that if I don't win, there was cheating. Okay. Okay, sore loser. God, really? Like, you guys gotta quit watching. And if you call them on it, they just bring up another conspiracy is like spouted. It's like these people want to believe so bad in conspiracy shit. You can't convince them. It's not even worth trying to explain shit to them. It isn't. It's so weird. You know. You know, how do you deal with that? I was a Republican, by the way. way. So I'm more conservative than I am liberal, and I know that sounds strange, but like as a conservative person, I don't give a shit what anybody is. I don't care who you're sleeping with. What do I give a shit? I don't care. It doesn't bother me. You want to be girl, woman, or man, or whatever. You want an orgy? I don't care, man. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't give a shit. But I can't. Some of this stuff is just nonsense. I was conservative in regard to like fiscally conservative, which that is no longer has anything to do with my old party. That just it's all about making stuff up just to stay in office or something. It's really gotten weird. I'm shocked that our country has come to this point. It's not good. Like maybe try and read a paper now and then instead of like getting your information off of Facebook or your uneducated friend. Maybe try not to watch Fox and watch something else. Let me put it like this. This is sum it up. If you have a politician that is calling everything fake news because it's not good for him, right? And you have one news agency that just repeats what he says but doesn't fact check, and then you have, oh, there's the turkey crossing the road, and then you have all these other news agencies that he's calling fake news because they're saying stuff he doesn't like. Doesn't it just isn't it just sort of common, that's a beautiful turkey, isn't it just common sense that you shouldn't trust that person? I mean, that's sort of like an important part of our politics is that we have a free press. So that's how we keep the politicians in line and check, because we can fact check and we can say like, look, this politician is lying. And you look at the majority of the news agencies are saying, this guy's lying. But you want to believe a person that is a known liar. For what? Why would you want anybody working for you that just lied and lied and lied? You don't know what to believe what they're saying. You don't really even know who they are, because they're just everything out of their mouth has been a lie. Yet you want to pay their salary. It'd be one thing if the guy, yeah, okay, I was lying, I'm not going to do it anymore. That's not what he's doing. He still does it. I thought, I had hopes that when he won, and I didn't want him to win because I'd already made the decision he's a liar. I thought maybe he'd step up to the plate and start acting normal. It didn't happen. How many people needlessly died during the pandemic because of shit he said? Go watch Deborah Burke's during that presser when he's talking about injecting bleach and using UV light. You know, go look at Deborah Burke's face. Unbelievable. You know, he tried to sell a quinine, some type of quinine medicine as like a cure. Like, no scientific basis for it. Clearly, there was some investment going on there because they were pushing a medication that there's no proof that it did anything. Nothing. And then we have a president that's pushing a medication with no scientific basis. There's just like, yeah, we should really we should really check into this, and, this could be a really game changer. Sounds like somebody he knew had some investment going on in the company that was making that, what is it, hydroxychloroquine or something? Looked pretty suspicious. What, like the SEC can't look into that? Maybe they are, I don't know. There's a lot. He's in trouble, I'll tell you that. He is in trouble. we'll see what January 6th. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but it looks like some pretty stinky shit. I mean, you look up at McCarthy, like the text messages. God. I don't want to pay some politician that's lying to me. If you do, you're a fool. I mean, really, like, that's the way you function. Like, if you had a business and somebody was just lying to you, you would keep them on? It's not a joke. It's like, you know, it's all of us. We're all in this together. So having politicians lying, that is not what you want. And you want to scrutinize what's being said. And you can't scrutinize anything if you're just going to listen to Fox or listen to conjecture on Facebook. You want to believe it, right? You should scrutinize everything you're hearing from these people. No, it isn't. That QAnon crap is all over the world now. It is. It's crazy, right? It's nuts. Who would want to believe that shit? Oh yeah, Tom Hanks is, yeah, okay. Afraid of our government choices in Texas. Governor. Yeah, well, look at Florida. Jesus Christ, what's up with him? It's like the new Trump or something. Slide, it doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll probably live stream. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, critical thinking is a must, but tell that to the people that want to believe the BS, you know? They want to believe this, you know? You can't, what are you gonna do? I'll see y'all. Bye, Hillsby.